Hello guys, in the last class we talked about stochastic oscillator. We are still under indicators in the advanced class. In this class we're going to be talking about MACD. MACD is another indicator under the most popular indicators used in forex trading. And the meaning of MACD means moving average convergence divergence, right? Moving average convergence divergence. Now, it said MACD is used by many traders. It's an indicator. It's an indicator that helps you identify the trend. You understand? Like I've always been saying, you need to trade in the direction of the trend in forex for it to be profitable. So MACD as an indicator helps you to track the trend. It helps you to know the exact trend you are currently under. And okay, let me just talk briefly about the structure of MACD. MACD contains three important components. The first one is the number of periods that is used to calculate the faster moving average. The second one is the number of periods that is used in the slower moving average. Right. So the first one is the number of periods that is used to calculate the faster moving average. The second one is the number of periods that is used to calculate the slower moving average. Then the last one is the number of bars that is used to calculate the moving average of the difference between the faster and the slower moving average. This is just background explanation of what MACD is, but I will open my MetaTrader 4 app and show you directly so it makes things easier for you. Okay, once you open your MetaTrader 4 app, and let's go to MetaTrader 4 app. Once you open your MetaTrader 4 app, right, you make sure you clear every indicator on the chart so you can have a bear chart, right? Now once you have a bear chart, remember you click on this F sign like we have been doing before. Click on the F sign, then you look for MACD, MACD. Look at it here, MACD, MACD. Then you click on it. Now if you check this, I remember I talked about three periods. I talked about the fast moving average, the slow moving average, and the MACD SMA. But now this is at the default settings. These are the settings that comes as a default with MACD, but we are going to change them. If you click on done now, you notice this. This is what you have, right? This is what you have. These lines here are bars. Let's make them thicker. Let's use some. Let's see 3. Let's change the color to black, right? Now you can see the bars clearly. Now these bars represent where you notice that the bars are forming below zero, it means that you're in a downtrend. When the bars are forming above zero, it means that you're in an uptrend, right? It means that the market is buying. So that's just what MACD tells you. Understand? So, but we are not going to make use of these default settings. We are going to make use of special settings. So let's go back to this. So now we are going to change the fast moving average to 3, the slow moving average to 5, and the MACD SMA to 13. That is 3, 5, 13, right? So we go back to our MetaTrader 4 app, click on MACD. This is 3. Change the fast to 3, change the slow to 5, and the other one to 13. 3, 5, 13, right? 3, 5, 13. So once you click on done, now you have a better chart. The reason we had to change the settings is because the default setting does not help us to predict or enter the market early. You understand? Unlike the default settings, this particular settings I just put for the fast, slow, and SMA moving average here, we can be able to enter the market earlier and not lose out in pips. Let me give some examples. Like you can see from this point here, the market went down, right? Now with this indicator, you'll be able to detect it. When you notice that the bars are slowly going down, like you can notice from this here, you notice that it's still going down, start going down, it's telling you that market is selling. You understand? So let's say from this 0 point now, we have been in an uptrend, right? We have been in an uptrend, like we can see from here. The moment the bars begin to form at the line below 0, it means that we have entered the downtrend. Then you begin to look for opportunities. Or if once you just notice that the bars begin to form below the 0 line, which is telling you that you're in a downtrend, you just pick a point around that part, around that side, and enter the market. So like you can see from this case here, the bars started forming around this region here, below the 0 moving average, telling us that it's time for us to sell. So remember, like I've always said, right, you just pick a point above where you got the signal, right, as your stop loss, since we are selling. Then depending on your risk appetite, you can just pick a point down. If your target is $30, if your target is $50, you pick a point below as your take profit, right? I told you everything depends on your trading plan, your risk appetite, how much you're willing to make or lose. So now, once you have set up this stuff now, you will now execute. Remember, you mark the points for your stop loss, the value for your stop loss, value for your take profit. Then you open your app, insert your stop loss, insert your take profit, choose your lot size, and either sell or buy depending on what you want to do, right? So now I've explained for how to use the MACD indicator to sell, right? It's the same principle with buying. Just the same principle. Just the same principle. You understand? No difference. Let me use this side as an example. If you notice from this point down, the market was selling, right? Then immediately the bars started going up, started going up, started going up. It started telling us that the trend is changing, giving us signal that we should buy. You understand? So if you enter the moment you notice the bar begins to reduce in size, like from this point, since we are buying, telling us that's a buy signal, and you notice that the bar started forming above the 0 line, giving us a clear indication that we are currently in a buy market or in a bulls market or in a buy trend. So you just pick a point above where you want to enter. This is where the um, um, candles, the bars started forming above, which are around this line. So you pick a point below as your stop loss, then pick a point above as a take profit, take profit, and enter. You understand? So the principle of using MACD to trade is very, very easy. It just tells you, helps you know the trend you are in using these bars. Remember, these things going up like this are bars, like this are bars. I remember I said if the bars are forming below the 0 line, we're in a downtrend. If the bars are forming above the 0 line, we are in an uptrend, right? We're in an uptrend, right? I remember I said that if this is the bars now, and let's say this is the biggest bar, I notice that the bars begin to reduce in size, Once you notice like something like this, it's most likely an indication that the market is beginning to sell. So you look for good entries. But if you want a better confirmation, you can wait for it to keep going down until it begins to form below the 0 line, which tells you that you're in a sell market and you sell. Likewise, the same thing for buying. If it is selling, right, and you begin to notice that it begins to reduce, going down, telling you that the market trend is changing to buying. If you want, when you notice something like this, when the last biggest one, the next one becomes smaller and smaller, it's telling you that the trend is changing. If you want, you can pick around this point. But if you want better confirmation, you can wait for the candles to begin to form above the 0 line. Then you pick your stop loss to take profit and execute your trade. So that's just the idea behind MACD indicator. Thank you.